Pleased to meet you. This is Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I'm Cody. My assistant Tommy is by his cat tree behind me, and I'm going to be doing a review of the full-size Heckler & Koch tactical folder stonewash plain blade from Boker in China. This is a pretty good knife. So you have a D2 steel with a really nice stonewash finish on it. You have a combination of polymer handle with some rubber inserts at the bottom and at the top here that have been done really well integrated into the handle. There's no gaps or anything. You have a little nightcrawler tail style pocket clip which sits low on the handle and is very comfortable. The bill was more aggressively angled from the box, and while it actually was not a hot spot in saber grip with the main hand, it did poke into my finger in left hand and also for reverse carry. And I just took some pliers and some microfiber cloth over the bill here just so it didn't scratch it, and bent it down after I removed the clip from the handle. And it was easy to do. This is a thin metal steel for the pocket clip, and now it's still usable but also more comfortable. But pocket clip was good. You have to really screw down the screw heads to keep it stationary. If you don't have it firmly down, it will move laterally. You can see here the screw heads are proud above the handle. Actually, they're kind of rounded, and it actually hasn't been an issue for me getting my fabric of my pants all the way past the screws for a full deep carry. There's nothing showing except for the pocket clip when you put it in your pants. So I like that. Design is a little bit busy. It's designed to be reminiscent of a Heckler & Koch pistol. You kind of have a pistol grip themed pattern here, and then this looks like a slide pattern, cock back to slide. So, you know, kind of goofy, but it works. For pinch grip, this little pattern does provide some traction. And so my hand size, I wear extra large gloves, 7.5 inches from palm to middle finger, 3.5 inches wide with fingers, 4 inches at the palm. And with these finger cutouts here, my fingers fit comfortably onto the handle. So I would say someone from size large to extra large, maybe medium hands. Probably large. I'd say large to extra large glove wearing hands will be comfortable with this handle. This is also comfortable in reverse grip. You can do draw cutting grip pretty comfortably. Kind of rest the pinky here. This one kind of doesn't have anywhere to go. This one fits into here, and you can just put your finger here for doing draw cuts. It's decent. It's no hot spots there. Yeah, the blend of the smooth polymer with the grippy rubber works well. Works well with the handle. You have relatively thin, unmilled out steel liners, and a liner lock that is pretty light tension to disable. You have some pretty aggressive jimping on the liner. And I don't know that it needed to be this aggressive, but for occasional deployment, it's not going to irritate ungloved hands. There is a little bit of flex if I squeeze down at the end. You can see I can flex it, but if I'm just going from the middle here, there's pretty much no flex. Obviously in the back with these barrel spacers here, there's no flex. So handle construction is pretty reliable. Really nice blade shape. You have a spear point, saber grind with, saber, what would you call that? It's a hollow grind here, and it goes up the middle of the blade. So I don't know, would we call this a hollow saber grind? I'm going to call it a hollow saber grind. If I'm getting my terminology wrong, feel free to roast me in the comments. You got an unsharpened swedge here, just to aid in penetration and styling and looks. The logo on here says HK, Heckler and Koch there. And then here it says Boker and it says D2. And then you got your serial number here. And came nice and sharp out of the box. Even edge grind, even bevel. I did strop it. I'm going to show you the strop that I use for stropping, because I've been talking about it a lot. It's got a leather strop on a wooden block here from Cutting Edge Cutlery in Calgary. This thing was cheap. This was like 15 bucks or something like that, 20 bucks. Comes with some gold, kind of like, it looks like a crayon. About 20,000, 30,000 grit strop compound. Just rub it in until you can see it, and then leave it for a month. And you just do a pass, get it about 30-degree angle till you can feel some resistance when you draw the blade across. And you just lightly go down and then do the same thing, coming back. Don't need a lot of pressure. And just do that maybe 4 times a side. And that will improve sharpness from the box, unless it's a super high-end knife that comes hand sharpened with a mirror polish edge. Then you're not going to get that any sharper. But it's a good way to sharpen knives out of the box, make them a little sharper. Also to upkeep your knives. After a day of use, I will just go and give this a couple passes on the strop, and it will be surprisingly good at keeping an edge on your knife. Nice and sharp. I'll do a paracord test here for you. So that took about medium effort and not a lot of fraying at the ends. So good clean cut, sharp blade. And it was about that sharp from the box. Nice balance of blade length to handle length. Let's see what the actual difference is. You can see here where the blade ends and the handle ends. Kind of ideal. So it's not going to accidentally cut anything here, but it's still generous amount of blade length for the handle. So proportions are good. You got your thumb disc, which works well. It's set low into the finger cutout. It would be easier to operate if it was placed in the middle. As it stands, I can thumb flick it and slow roll it. See if I can, that was using the tip of my thumb. Let's see if I can do it with the meat. Yeah, it's not as easy to do using the joint of my thumb. So that's the only method of deploying the, or you can do two-handed. Just pinch the disc, two-hand open. Can I reverse flick it? Yeah, can reverse flick it. So the tension, is there a ball spacer? Yeah, there's a ball detent on the frame, on the liner lock. The tension to overcome is medium. Um, considering this is labeled as a tactical knife, I think that the thumb disc should have been moved up here more, and then Boker should have removed this thumb stop here and just integrated that into the handle, and maybe put a flipper tab here. Flipper tab would be flush with the hand guard here at the bottom, reminiscent of like this, where you've got this hand guard here and then got a little flipper tab up here. I think that would have been better implementation than having this thumb stop here, because as you can see where the angle of the thumb stop, this is as far up as they can put the thumb disc by having this here, but I think they should have done a flipper tab up here instead. Move this back just to make it really easy to access this. There's a chance if you're in a tactical situation where you had to pull this out quickly to do some offense, defense, quick cutting of rope and stuff, your thumb might just not, it might just go above this. But with training, you know, just to bring your thumb down, flick it open, it's good to go. So overall, the blade shape does suit the handle shape quite well, I would say. There's no, no, I wouldn't say this is a usable choke up. I mean, maybe if you're careful, if you're really careful and you just focus on like going back here on the handle, you could choke up, but it's safest just to do a thumb forward if you want fine control of the blade or pinch grip. This is designed to maximize blade length instead of having a usable, safe choke up point here for doing fine detail work. So the handle and blade shape design, I would say, is compatible with tactical use. Google defines tactical knife as a knife designed for military or martial, like police purposes, that has multiple uses with the blade shape. Like it's got to be good at piercing and slicing and cutting. And most or all of my tactical knives, as you will see, have this spear point shape. That is currently my favorite blade shape for, well, I love tactical looking knives anyway. I find it's really intuitive, have a point that is pretty much on axis with the middle of the handle. Really intuitive to control your pierces, and then it's still nice and usable for cutting and slicing, but the blade stock is thick enough on a tactical knife that it's also going to be quite durable. It's not flimsy. You don't have to worry about it snapping under normal or even emergency use. I would say this is a tactical knife shape. Weight is, well, on the box it says 4.5 ounces, but they're a bunch of liars because I weighed it on my scale and it's actually 4.6 ounces, guys. Maybe you want to fix that on your box, 1.1 ounce off. 4.6 ounces is in between medium and approaching heavy. 5 ounces I consider to be heavy. This is a full-size knife, 8.37 inches when you consider back to the end of the pocket clip to the front of the blade. So this is about the length of a Benchmade Freak, longer than a PM2 Spyderco. Maybe this is about the size of an Ontario Rat 1. And yeah, there's some, even if I were to be wearing gloves, I'd be able to have a grip on here. There's still some area on the handle at the end there. So we got a blade length of 3.6 inches cutting edge, and that's the same as the total blade length. You can see where the handle stops. The cutting edge is the same. When I deployed this about 20 times, the pivot got loose. And it came perfectly centered out of the box. It's perfectly centered now, but it was getting loose and going off to one side. So I have some red Loctite screw lock for the pivot. So you back the pivot screw out and you dab a little bit of red Loctite on there, put it back in, and then you get the tension on the blade until it gets perfectly centered, and then you don't touch it for 24 hours, and then it's good. I did that also on my Almar Siri 2020 folding knife. I had the same problem. It would get loose, and I put the red Loctite on it, and now it's been good. That doesn't instill me with high confidence for this. I don't recommend this as a professional if you're a police or military. I wouldn't stake my life on this. The pivot system with the screws and stuff, it doesn't instill me with confidence that it's going to be like durable. But for EDC use, for casual, this is fine if you do what I did and red Loctite it. I've probably deployed it 50 times since I've Loctited it, and it's stayed perfectly centered. You've got 2 pivot screws, T8s. This one, I don't know what it's doing. It's just kind of almost like it kind of rotates, but it doesn't really loosen the blade. I think it's supposed to be like a stop, and then you just adjust the tension on the other side. So a little bit, again, not instilling me with confidence that it's, it's kind of a little bit confusing, which is the pivot adjust side and which is the stop side. So I'll do a quick size comparison here with my other tactical knives. So you got the HK there, and then the Fox Knives ATCF, Bob Terzola design. Benchmade considers the Presidio 2 to be a tactical knife, black class, fantastic knife. And the Kaiser Begleiter 2 XL, which I've bought 3 of, and this is my keeper. I just put some, what was it? Surface cleaner. It's like a leather conditioner on this micarta handle, and it gave it a nice deeper color to it, and it's been looks cool. It's been nice there to keep it from drying out. So you can see smallest, a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger. You can see where the HK fits in for size. Price $75 on Blades Canada, Canadian. For $75, is this worth it? If you're someone who doesn't take apart your knives, if this is going to be your first knife and you're not mechanically inclined, I don't recommend this knife, because you have to put some Loctite on here. Probably it's probably going to come loose on you, and the blade's just going to flop around. It's not going to be something you can depend on. But if you're a knife person, if you're mechanically inclined, then I can recommend this knife, because the blade seems like it's good quality. It's a great shape, and providing that you're going to Loctite this, perfectly fine for light and medium duty. Just because it's a tactical knife is also supposed to be able to put up with like heavy duty tasks, be durable, right? I don't think this is a true tactical knife. I think this is an EDC knife that is in the style of a tactical knife, because I would not trust this with But this would not be an only knife that I take out. Any of these other knives could be an only knife that I take out that I trust. This one, not so much. But it's cool. $75. It's low price for a knife that has the cutting performance, capabilities, and design of this. So I recommend this if you're a knife person and you're able to do a little bit of maintenance on it, right? Then for the price, $75 Canadian, is this a good knife? Yeah, this is a good knife, EDC knife. Could you do tactical stuff with this? You could do up to medium duty. You can break down microwave boxes, no problem. You can cut thick plastic straps with this, no problem. You can obviously do light work with this, no problem. But again, no, I wouldn't. This is not an apocalypse knife. Okay, I'll give this an 8 out of 10 if you're a knife person. If this is going to be your first knife, if you're not a knife person, 6.5, 7 out of 10. I like this knife, but this is not going to be recommended for everyone. There, that concludes my review of the Heckler & Koch Tactical Folder Stonewash Plane. I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Tommy says goodbye, and I say goodbye. See you later.